Alright, hey, welcome to another edition of RunBuck on Games. I'm RunBuck, and we got another war recap for you. This time taking a look at a potluck. We just got done where we faced You Got Jacked. This war was interesting because You Got Jacked actually faced, just last week, Faked Orgasm, who we'd lost to, so we were interested if we could beat them. Then basically it means we beat Faked Orgasm the second time around, right? I don't know. But it was a great war, and as you can see here, we ended up winning it 87-83, so high five to us. There were some great attacks, and actually a lot of voting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17 bases were nominated, or attacks were nominated for getting replayed on this, and they said, well, why don't you just show the six-pack? So I'll just mention those. Darth, Carlos, Chris, Elysier, NATO, a.k.a. and Alistair Crawl all had six-pack wars. But the war actually kind of broke down in a couple interesting things. First off, one of the ones we want to highlight the votes for is A-Boy had two early on hit-ups into Town Hall 11 from his Town Hall 10 that got 2-star. And I think as you look at wars now, at least until the meta changes and the strengths change, Town Hall 11, forcing Town Hall 11 to hit their peers and not allow a hit-up for 2 is pretty key. Because check out these two bases. So this guy, this guy basically is saying, daring you to come and get it, right? Just can you get the percentage after getting the Town Hall? And that was their number 2. And this guy's basically a little harder, but basically doing the same thing. Pretty easy hit up. When you've got it non-central, it's kind of a lot easier. Let's just go ahead and watch this one. Both attacks from A-Boy for the 2 were very similar in style. Slight differences that I'll comment on as he goes. But you always will start with your precision sniping on the edge to increase your clutter clear, your percentage from the outside. And then once you've got that, the other thing to notice is how he leaves his finger here for his drive. You don't want to just basically clutter clear about 80% outside of the part you want to drive on and then go in. And then double freeze or rage, jump rage into the Town Hall usually is enough, and you get 55%. So solid. Both of his attacks look similar to that, so we don't need to break it down much more than that since we got so many to cover here. So let's keep trucking. The next one up was a Pier hit. We'll switch down to Town Hall 10. Pier hit, I think fresh attack, was it? Yep, fresh attack by Darth Carlos on this base for 3. And this is where we started breaking their back. We really landed some great Town Hall 10 attacks on Pier so that they couldn't match. And so at that point they kind of knew that they were in trouble. Let's go ahead and take a look at the attack. So again, they're offering the Town Hall outside. Let's go 4 times speed just to get a feel. He's going to start the cuts with 2 golems and then drive in with bowlers behind. And then he's going to come off mass miners of that from this upside top part. And you'll notice that this theme actually recurs in a couple different attacks. And so really, I guess what I would notate from this is that he had, so it was a wall breaker jump, which means he's going to get a deeper penetration with his drive team than he would with normally if he'd just done a jump penetration, like a jump penetration from here. So when you've got those eye towers in the core, you need to probably get a deeper kind of drive and then go off the distract with the miners. And I think there he's got it. So let's take a look at it one more time and see if there's anything else key that kind of really drove that line. I mean, he definitely clears by coming this way, gets the Town Hall cleared first, but since you're going for 3, I don't think that's what he was really worried about. He's not broadsiding the eye towers, so that's one aspect, maybe not coming in broadside because he doesn't have double freeze spells. He's just going to rage through it. He does get down the queen pretty early and then has the tome available to help him through. Oh no, he doesn't. Lied. That's me thinking of myself. But drives through with the fist and queen cloak. And then the big thing though, again, is I think really having this part of the base focused on your core team. Notice how it's still up and now it just now died. That's pretty key. And then he was able to have enough left to where it healed through. Because this becomes a big issue, right? How quickly you'll get to this, and so he'll end up getting, because of the pathing, back into the eye tower. And that's something to think about as you look at your pathing of your base. If you're defending, if it's constantly reversing back into the eye tower, if he had moved this one way this way, would it have done the same thing, or would it have gone over? Something to think about. But it was close, right? I mean, what has he got left there? Like 5 minors, 2 minors? Oh, geez, and then a bomb. They have 5 total. So it wasn't like it was a cakewalk on the attack overall. Moving down, we've got another Town Hall 10 pier. Chris actually had 2 of them. We'll look at both. Because heck, man, Town Hall 10 piers, you gotta give them love. I think they both kind of have the same feel of what you saw with Darth Carlos's attack. So it's a 2 golem with the whiz cuts, then the wall breaker in with bowlers behind the royals with the jump spell. Yes? Yep, there it is. And then moving through. Now he's giving him with this hound. That's probably the best he could ask for in terms of penetration. The mass minions really can kind of slow down that push team a little bit better. But it was still the same type of feel, right? We had the push team come in, and then we had miners coming off that distract, moving around. He had a little bit more survivability with his queen. Let's take a look at why you think, why that base kind of let his queen live. King's forward, queen's forward, so they're both going to go down early. He's got both expos back, 2 out of 3, so I don't know. So it was really the timing, I think, because his queen never. What would get the queen are these 2 expos, and the fact that the miners were in play and about here when the queen had, after hung up, had moved through. So the timing of the miners to come through quickly enough to where they're about here when the queen's here, getting ahead of the queen. That's what kept her up, and then having the queen up can make a big difference in the 3-star rate that you'll get. Chris had another one, though. Let's take a look at that, too. Number 7. So once again, he's coming in. Looks to be at this angle against the knot. So not a broadside, per se. Jumping pretty deep. Yep, like it. And here comes the miners off the edge. So really, what I like about that angle, right? So basically, here's his push team. And he swings through, he's getting very quickly to the thing that's going to mess him up. He's going to let his drive team take care of one of the infernos, and his miner team takes care of the other one. Lot left there, plus the queen. Let's see if he too kind of had that miner timing such that they got through. I don't think that really let it. I think that she just ended up being in the void. Let's see. Here we go. Ding, 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 ding. When's they going to drop? When are they going to drop? Right now. So here's your current penetration when the miners come down. Interesting. And it moves through. Queen's is really getting a lot of. Well, yeah, that's why she lived. There she is. What the heck? So she basically, that attack was done without the queen. That's more impressive than I thought. The fact he was able to survive off that even with the queen hung up. Helps out later though. That expo might have been troublesome to the miners. So having her come in late, although I think she would have pushed through either way. Alright. So those are some of the Town Hall 10 piers. Let's look here and see if I got any others I wanted to point out. No. Did both Chris's, did one of Carlos's. Let's do Carlos's other one too, why not? Alright, we'll just do them all. Town Hall 10 pier. Here we go. Although not as impressive because it's at level 1 infernos and expos. So we're going to give him a degree of difficulty of 8 here, or 7. A little bit more mass in the inferno. Had witches, which is never probably the best thing that ground troop wants to see. With the bowlers throwing double chuck, it's harder for them to really have impact. But again, the same. So let's look again. Now we've seen the flow. Let's go back and look at the map again and think about the attack lines that he ended up choosing. Did you see the swag heal? So you didn't even need a heal. We got you, Carlos. We see how cool you are. Alright, wait a minute. So as he comes in, so he's clearly going to drive this part of the base, right? Now let's watch What's up with that? Okay, that minion was clearing that one Tesla. So this was the third attack on this base, which is why it wasn't featured on the thumbnail. Okay, so see, there's the minions, or miners coming in. And here you are. So again, we're about 9 tiles lagging. Let's see how fast they catch up. Wow, that's pretty quick. So now we're caught up about 10 seconds later. So when you're in core, if you've got at least good penetration, your miners can make up. Don't feel like you've got to too early commit your miners, because let's say you'd gone when they're more right here, the jumps down, and then you drop, then you'll be here, right? And so then you get more of this kind of flanking attack on it. It's much different than this kind of exposure, where they're going to get here, and it's really only this is going to be flanking, which is what you want. You kind of want that C-type feeling. Very well done. Moving into Town Hall 9, we do have 2 Town Hall 9s we'll take a look at, 12 and 14. 12 was Elysier, which was one of the 6-pack guys for the war. Kind of a wonky base. Let's go 4 times speed and see what's up with this. Was it a fresh attack? Nope, this was a second attack on this. Somebody else missed. So he might have had some insight here around some things. But we're having a queen walk. Okay. Oh, so it's the old queen walk with the Valk supported with healers type play. Haven't seen that in a while. Worked pretty well though. Although now it's kind of running out of juice. So I think I would say he probably wanted the queen walk to go this way, so he'd end up in here, and then he could run the Valks this way. Having the queen come this way and the Valks come this way, unless his plan was to then push across together. I don't know. Let's look at that. Let's look at his attack again and see if it has a sense for what he was really thinking. Yeah, so he's dropped this baby dragon pretty early. That's implying more of a 3 o'clock motion. Nope. Yep, so he wanted to go this way. He wanted to come in here and just walk that thing around. Oh, because he could get the CC triggered maybe? Yeah, and deal with it there. Alright. Or not. He didn't get it all out, but close. So what does he gain by that? I mean, what he does do... Alright, so let's think about the queen. It's like if you thought through the attack and said, oh, what's he going to have? He would have this for sure, right? So it's a much narrower pathing. So if you know that you can run your Valks this way, he probably thought they were going to go more up here, but they ended up coming across. With the jump even. Interesting. Don't let him burn through the wall. Didn't let him hang out there. The double bombs were really... So even with the double bombs blowing up the Valks, he still powered through on it. So I would wonder if he, in hindsight, would have rather kind of drawn, done that Queen Valk thing like this, and if he wanted to do the walk, maybe done it the opposite direction. Go this way. Well, that would put the more like this, where you're getting her in here to where it's easier. And she can also be a distract for the expo as they come across. I don't know. It'd be interesting if Elysier commented on that, why he went with that line, because it seemed like it was a little more difficult, but it was a second attack. But it felt a little pushing, like it was pushing a little bit. Let's take a look at this one. NATO, our last replay of the day. I guess we'll call this bonus, even though we've got extra ones. So the baby dragon cuts, and then a golem whiz on the other side, creating then the VaBo. Boom. In you go. And then we're going to suicide hog off the east side. Or surgical hog for those of you that think it was really awesome looking. Not bad. Yeah, so that was really, the VaBo, again, kind of gave you this finger of penetration that then as you hit with your surgical hog, your team can continue on without getting hassled too much. So pretty good. I like that one. Alright guys, well that's the ones we wanted to highlight for this round, but as we said, war was pretty good. We were excited to beat them. I flubbed up on my nukes a little bit, but you know, live and learn. Up next, our next war, we've got BRCM out of a random match. I'll skip our last war. That was kind of just laid back, some clan that was struggling a little bit. But now we've got, the next recap we'll do is BRCM, so we'll see how that does. They've got a extra Town Hall 11 advantage. Talk to you guys later.
What am I gonna do? My clan sucks. Hey, it's JTJ.
I think that's an all-out attack.
No, it's the legendary JTJU. JTJU. What? I like Wryhorn. You and this army. Download Clash of Clans for free. Then subscribe to JTJU and win.